No, I can show you. But anyways, everybody, we're back. My
Oh,
dad.
and Crow, we're going live.
Yeah,
Oh my
I'm
God.
recording it. We're gonna talk a little more about my dad. How he used to work as a kid from the age of 12 in the press rooms in Englewood, New Jersey. And then he was talking about his grandfather, who helped plant the seed of the interest in farming when he was about 9, 10 years old. My dad never, like I said, he never grew up on a farm, didn't do anything like that. He just knew he learned how to work from a young age, which helped prepare him for when he was 48 years old to decide to start dairy farming, which was nothing but work.
Nothing but work.
So Dad, so when your grandfather, what did he do for how did he have a connection to farming, or what did he be able to do in order to?
Well, like I said, he worked for American Cyanamid, which was the biggest agricultural chemical company in the world at the time. And his early on, he traveled. Well, Ingrid, yeah, she's got the pictures that Pat had of him in Pakistan, in India. I mean, when this is back when the synthetic fertilizers first came into being, and then DDT and other things. So yeah, he traveled all around the world, and then later once he when uh, later then he had the Western states was his territory, and he took me around. I saw big huge beef farms in Colorado. I saw.
What was his name?
Hilliard.
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 Hilliard Ortman, or
no, Hilliard McCumber.
Oh,
Hilliard Edmund McCumber.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Where was he born in the United States, or was he?
I can't. I couldn't.
Because he was your grandfather, so that would mean so he was probably born in the 1800 or early 1900s, 1800s.
Yeah. I mean, he saw. He saw both world wars.
Mm-hmm. Was he in them or no?
Huh?
Was he involved in the world?
I don't know. I honestly don't know if he served in the military or not. I don't know.
How old was he like when you? Was he like a grandfather young, or was he say like in his 50s or 60s?
No, he was in his late 50s, and when those first times we went out to see him in Boulder, 50s and 60s. Yeah.
And so obviously he grew up in the early 1900s or late 1800s, whenever he was born. But so farming was more obviously everywhere at the time. And equipment sales and all this stuff was more prevalent. So like, did he always do that, or was?
I don't know.
I'm sure.
I'm not sure. I don't know. Pat, my mother never really
talked about.
She never really talked about her parents.
So he was Pat's brother.
Pat's father.
Or Pat's father. Yeah, Pat's father.
Yeah. Kent, that was my uncle.
That's right.
Yeah. Kent that would have been Pat's brother. Yeah. But that's what sparked the interest in farming in me. And always wanted to do it, and life got in its way.
Did he do that was he always like a sales, or you're just not sure?
I don't know. I couldn't.
Did you have many interactions with him, or just a couple times?
Didn't have enough. We didn't have enough interactions with them. Maybe would see them once a year, because back when my father, who was he was a biology professor. He retired from the City College, New York, as a full professor. He did research into the pituitary gland. That was his whole reason in life. That's what his whole interest was, the pituitary gland. There were times when, depending on what research projects we had, there was in our house we lived in Englewood, this great big huge house we had. He did research into particular pituitary of a species of frog, a Rhinopipian. So we had a colony. I mean, hundreds of these frogs in our basement. He had another year. He did research on the African weaver finch. What else did he have going on? And then some kind of fish. So that was his whole life was devoted into the study of the
And
research in the pituitary gland. Yeah.
Hmm. So
I'm sure if you looked, he published a bunch of papers.
A lot of things.
Yeah, but this was all pre the modern world.
Where was where's Pat born from?
Pat was born in Sicily.
Sicily.
Yeah. Yep.
And was she like did she grow up there, or did they come over to the States?
No,
pretty quickly.
No, I don't know how long they were. Like I said, that I don't have a lot of details. She grew up in California, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whereabouts in California?
Well, I was born in Berkeley, Berkeley, California, and that's when she met my father. I found out from Ingrid, he was an instructor at the UCLA at Berkeley, and that's where she met him.
She was at Berkeley?
At Berkeley, and she was a student, and he was an instructor. And
she doing? I remember Pat, when she was in was she always in the plants and stuff at that time?
That came later.
What was she doing when she was
I don't know. Like I said, my mother never spoke much about her, about those years at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then so all that, like, so around 9-10 years old, you got to met your grandfather a few times. And he always brought some magazines or dropped them off, and you end up getting them. Was it just all sorts of different things, agriculture in those magazines you read?
Back then,
or was there something specific that you always like gravitated towards?
No, back then he had what did he have? American Vegetable Grower. I don't know if it was even in or still published. American Fruit Grower, and then he had a magazine that dealt with cattle.
Did you do? Because I know. Well, I never remember. I don't remember much of the big gardens that you used to do here. But did you used to when you were a kid? Did you have gardens?
Oh, I had a huge garden
when you were a kid too.
Oh, when
did you start that?
I don't know, 10, 11, 12, something like that. Yeah. I didn't have a rototiller.
Did anybody teach you how to do it, or you just started?
Well, my mother had this point had started to get an interest in gardening, and
that's called agronomy? No, that's
horticulture.
Horticulture, that's right.
Flowers, yeah. That became her passion in life.
Now, when you did the gardens, did you have to buy all the seeds and everything? Or did your parents chip in? Did they help?
I don't remember. No, I think I bought the seeds from the money I made from either mowing lawns or my paper route. My father was not one to. No, he was not one to get. We got allowance. We never got it. There was no such thing as an allowance. None of that. None of these.
No. And like once you did the gardens, did you like try to sell the vegetables too at the time, or was it just all consumed within the family? Like when you're doing it, so you're the oldest of 4 kids, so were they using that as a way to like
we were
eating everything and stuff?
We remember there was family. There's 4 kids, all hungry. So. Yeah, it all got used. I grew all kinds of things. I got a laugh because I was growing winter rye.
Way back when you were a young kid.
In Englewood, 60 years ago.
Was Englewood still? Well, I haven't been back. Obviously, I haven't been back to Englewood.
The same.
It was the same then.
It was the same, yeah.
So it's pretty well developed for quite a while. Yeah. Because it was an older town or older city or whatever, right?
Yeah. Well, it's part of that sort of the, suburbia that surrounds all the big cities in the country. That's
Gotcha. So where in Englewood did you guys actually live? Like uh, Ma or my mom's mother lived at what was it, Everett Place?
yeah. She lived in Everett Place. We lived on Morse Place. I don't know.
How far away was that?
Oh, less than a mile, probably.
Oh, wasn't it just around
Yeah.
the block or around the corner?
Well, was there was I don't know. Was there was 1, 2, 3? I think there was it was like 4 streets in between, but you had to go up at least 4 streets before you got to Everett Place. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So when did you guys move to uh
Englewood.
yeah.
Well, my father in his career, he moved once he got his degree from UCLA. He took he took a job. His first position was he took a position in New Zealand because at the time the because the top man in the world of the research that Robert was interested in. So he had an opportunity to go and work under this man in New Zealand. They didn't stay. I think they lived in New Zealand about 18 months, and then we came back to the States. He took a taught for I think it was for a year at in New Orleans, and then we moved. We were then moved to St. John's, Newfoundland, where we lived there for 2 years. I actually got to see Queen Elizabeth. She drove down the street that we lived on in an open convertible when she took her tour of Canada right after she got coronated as the Queen.
Mm-hmm.
I still remember that seeing her drive by. And then we were there in Newfoundland for 2 years, and then we moved he took a position at Boston College. We lived in Newton, right outside of Boston. We were there. What was it? I went kindergarten there, first grade. Yeah, I think we were there for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got a job. Then he finally got the job. He got hired on at City College in New York. And then we moved from Massachusetts. Then we first lived out in, what was the name of that town? Out in New Jersey, out Route 17. We lived there for a while, and then we moved. They rented a house in Englewood, and then they wound up finding the house that was the last house that he had until they got divorced.
Mm.
Yeah, and then he retired. He retired from City College of New York as a full professor.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Huh. That's it. That's so like so you got there when you're like so kindergarten, that'd be like 5, so you're like 6 years
Well, yeah,
old,
kindergarten,
7 years old. And then you moved to not Moore's Place.
First we moved out. What was the name of that town out there? Not Wayne. Oh my God, it'll come to me. But yeah, first we moved to that town out in New Jersey. Oh, and my God, he was. When you get hired on, and back then as an instructor at one of these colleges, you're not making any money, no money. And at this point, they had 4 kids. They had 4 of us. Yeah, I mean there was zero money.
Was that the best job financially they had at the time, or was that
That's
one
where
of the worst?
because he wanted to go to City College because it's
Or like
because it's known as a good place, and they had research opportunities there.
gotcha. So how long? So after all that, so how long when you started these gardens? How long did you do it all the way up through school, high school? Like how long did you do it
How
for?
many years did I do it for?
Yeah. And like
Oh,
I'm envisioning because I remember Ma's place. It was like what if she lived on? Well, she had a decent sized yard for the city, right? So it was like a half acre maybe. She
yeah,
lived
that's what
on.
he had maybe I think the lot that he had there was a tad bit bigger than Eleanor's yard, but something pretty similar to that. Yeah.
And so like how much of that yard did you have into a garden?
Did I have a? I had a garden like twice the size of this room.
So maybe like an eighth of an acre or something like
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then a rototiller. I had
So
a
it consumed
round point shovel.
So it consumed most of the yard.
Yeah.
Did you just grow everything?
I
or-
grew everything.
Yeah, just
I
grew
grew.
everything.
I grew everything.
Just because?
Yeah, everything.
Huh. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
So you were mowing yards, doing the newspaper. You had a garden. You're trying to stay in school to graduate. Um, did you do anything else? Any other side odd jobs and so on and so forth, or was?
Well, I was pretty busy as it was.
When did you? So I've always been curious. When did you meet? Because I knew you were friends with Craig, right? Before you met my mom. Were you guys like childhood friends yet, or was that not? Or that
Yeah,
came later?
I met Craig in sixth grade.
Okay, was he the first one that you met out of
Yeah.
mom's family? So it was
Yeah.
Craig.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So that's so you guys were friends. So was Craig? Craig, I know he passed away, but was he? He was roughly. He wasn't the same age as you, right? No, he was younger.
No, he's the same age.
Oh,
as
he
me.
was the
Yeah,
same age
yeah.
with you.
He's actually. See, he was.
So because
born-
all right, so mom is the youngest child.
Yeah, she was the youngest one. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you guys met in sixth grade, and then
Yeah, and your mother was just a little girl. Then she
Gotcha.
grew up,
right.
and
Did like Craig and everything like did he help with you with the gardens and all that?
no,
type of-
he no. I did
nothing,
this.
did all that stuff.
I did this all. Yeah, I did this all by myself. Yeah.
What was the name of the school you guys went to?
The high school.
Yeah.
Dwight Morrow.
Dwight Morrow.
Dwight Morrow High School.
Wonder if that's still around.
Oh, it's still there.
Is it still
Yeah,
there?
it's still there. Yeah.
Was it a big school? I'm assuming.
Yeah, it was
right?
pretty good.
Pretty big school.
Yeah, it was bigger than Messina High School.
Yeah, and you're talking 60 years ago too, right?
Yeah,
Or 65 years
yeah,
ago now. So I don't know. I'm sure the population is maybe about this. I don't know. It's interesting. But yeah, all right. So as just a quick recap. So by this point, you guys have finally moved to Englewood, New Jersey. You are now been you knew your grandfather who helped get you into farming, or at least interest through magazines. No actual direct farming, but then you started your own gardens and learning, and you paper routes. You wanted to make money because of financial pressures and family issues and so on and so forth. And then you got into the press room, and you were working tremendous amount of hours in the press room. What was it called? It was a Daily Record, the newspaper business. Was that what it was called? The Daily
Oh,
Record?
that's where the last place I worked. But I got started the place that I
Star
started.
Ledger, right?
No, I started the place that I started was Allied Printing.
Or Allied Printing.
It was a printing place. They printed weekly newspapers. They printed a lot, all kinds of things. And one of them was the Rolling Stone magazine when the first issues of the Rolling Stone magazine, which is still printed today, were printed at Allied Printing.
So you did all that work, and then you're still in high school, and
I was working. I would go to high school. I would go junior year and senior year. I would go into school with my blue uniform on, that dirt from the night before. Just, like I said, school. I love learning, but school was not for me.
So cool.
No.
All right, everybody. So we can pick this up next time. If you watch, thank you so much. And it's going to take us a while to get through my dad's story because I'm going to learn a lot at the same time. And well, eventually we got 48 years. Well, we got another 20 in his story right now. Another 20, I guess. 20 or 35 years before he even gets to starting a dairy farm.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
So a lot of life, which is still crazy to me. The fact that a guy starts a dairy farm up at 48 years old, especially when my body at 31 feels tired most days because of the amount of work. And he didn't have nearly as much as we do now, obviously, because it wasn't built yet. But all right, have a good night.